light. It's the new year, okay? Well, almost. We're in December. We're headed to the new year. We still have a few more weeks. And typically, me personally, I don't like to wait till December 31st to decide what I'm going to do through January. So today we're going to have a special topic today called the 3 essential categories of teacher organization. And so why do we think about this now? Because you've messed up some things the first semester. Your room may not have looked like you wanted. You might have been in a rush to get it set up. You're a new teacher. Now you're starting to do more research and see a little bit more about how you want your room organized, or maybe just looking at your kids on a day-to-day basis, you realize this is not what's conducive to my students or to me. So we're going to talk about 3 important categories for teachers to get organized. So let's start. So first of all, I want to start with the first category, okay? Number 1, how do you organize your classroom or just yourself as a teacher? The first, always focused on the students first, okay? And so how do you focus on the students first? Well, first of all, you look at the classroom environment. First of all, think about things such as, where are the turn-in bins? Where does the makeup work go? Where are you going to put the student supplies? Where are you going to put your supplies? Because your supplies don't need to be out near where the students get their supplies, because that's how stuff goes missing. And sometimes they don't mean to steal, they borrow it, and it just trails out the room. Okay, so think about those things in terms of your classroom. Number 1, think about the students first. How do you want that classroom set up? How do you want your desk organized? How do you want your books organized, your book library? I don't care what content teacher you are. You should still have some type of reading library in your room. It doesn't have to be large and magnanimous, but it does need to be, there needs to be a reading class, reading space. So, so it does need to be a reading space. So make sure of that and keep that in mind. Number 2, how do you organize as a teacher? Me. Okay, so how do we keep ourselves organized, teachers? Please do not sit here and think that I'm the epitome of perfection. Newsflash, I'm not. So, and neither are you or anybody else. So what we're going to do, I want to ask you a few questions. As a teacher, think about your lesson plans. You probably figured out that printing out lesson plans and scattering them all over your desk may not be the best way to teach. So put those babies in a notebook. Also, too, think about data. You really need data to plan your lessons. And it's not always the state test. Sometimes it could be data from a classroom assessment, a school assessment, a district assessment. But you need data to help you move forward in your instruction. So having your data and lesson plans in one place is a good thing. If not, make sure your data is in a notebook or in a very neat file per class. If you're secondary, per class, elementary, per student. Or some elementary students, they do transfer classes just like secondary does. So think about that as well. And also, too, think about staff meeting notes, trainings. Teachers, I'm going to be honest, if you're a new teacher, I don't care how long you've been teaching, the trainings never end. It's always good to learn new information. I'm certainly not complaining. However, you're in lots of trainings. You have to keep those resources somewhere. So how about some type of accordion folder or a special just a little folder, maybe just a little 25-cent Brad folder where you keep all your trainings in for the year. It doesn't have to be complicated, but make sure you keep it together. And on top of that, take your lesson plans, your data, your staff meetings, your trainings, all your notes, keep them in an organized bin under your desk or near your desk so you can access them at any time. And last, how do you keep yourself organized at home? I know what you're thinking. You'll probably be in REM sleep by 6 o'clock tonight. But how do you keep yourself organized as a teacher at home? Here is my suggestion. Never let your teaching life take over your home, okay? And so I don't say that in a crude, rude way. But I'm saying is keep a certain compartment in your house for your teaching materials. It may be a closet where you organize your papers and materials. It could be a nice section in your garage where you have shelves. You may have to put it in boxes for the time being and just organize it that way. But have a certain location to keep your extra supplies. Maybe you may be watching this and may have a little experience. You need a place to keep past supplies. old handouts and things like that that maybe you don't need junking up your classroom at school. So these are the 3 essential categories for teacher organization. Essential teacher organization. So really the first one is the student or the students. First of all, how are you going to organize your classroom? And most importantly, above all, how do you keep your beloved students organized within that classroom environment? Next, you. How do you as a teacher need to stay organized? And last but not least, home. Teaching is very dear to our hearts, otherwise we would have never done it. But make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you have a certain little space in your home for your teaching materials or supplies. So remember, keep it simple. Teaching is a wonderful, awesome profession. It is noble. It is noble in all of its everything that we do in it. However, it should not be distressing and overwhelming. Keep it simple, contemplate and think about what you're doing. And I am so excited to announce that the Educator's Light first ebook will be out on December 18th. So I'm so excited. I hope you get to take a look at it. It will be available for now exclusively only on the Educator's Light website. The www.theeducatorslight.com. Also, don't forget, I'll have some updates on it as well on Instagram and Facebook as well. So I hope you join us. Don't forget those 3 essential categories of teacher organization. Stay organized, because if you're in chaos, those babies are going to be in chaos, and they deserve the best, and so do you. Have a wonderful day. Happy Friday, and don't forget, stay in the light.